Hey guys, Christina Kasky here with Foreverboard Soapery. Today I am back. I'm going to try and make my rainbow soap again. I made this guy last year and everybody really loved it, from kids to adults. It was a huge hit. In fact, I just had customers in the store trying to buy the soap. I just made it yesterday, so it's not ready yet. But they'll be back for 3 bars of soap for the ladies. They each wanted one. It's a big seller, this guy. So I'm probably going to have to make another batch because I think this one's going to sell out too quickly. But that being said, today we're going to give it a shot and see how she ends up looking, the things I would change and do differently, and so on. So at the moment I have my oils all in the bucket here. I actually added the kaolin clay to the oils this time as opposed to my fragrance oil. I've been noticing some kind of little spots in my soaps. It's not lye, I've tested it, it's all good. But I suspect it's either the kaolin clay not fully dissolving, or it could be that with the colder temperatures, my oils are too cool. So I'm going to try the kaolin clay first, see if that's my problem. If not, it's probably that my oils are too cool. I do soap at cold temperatures, so it wouldn't surprise me that I might be having a little bit of a problem with that. I've gotten everything mixed up super quick here. I've got us on double time because there's so much video this go round and I'm still not super great at editing everything. So I've got everything mixed up. My goat's milk's in here, my lye, everything's come to emulsion. And then I'm going to be separating it into 6 different colors for my rainbow soap. So the first one here, because I just brought it to emulsion, I do need to thicken it up, so I'm just blending it further. I do want it to be fairly, I guess, thick. Probably medium trace would probably be best, because I do want each layer to set up so the other layer can sit on top. But I'm also having to work super quickly because I've decided to do this all in one go as opposed to 6 different batches of soap. So I've added in my neon purple to this one. I did go with the full 2 tablespoons. It's a tablespoon per pound. I decided to go with the full 2 tablespoons. I wanted a lot of color. I wanted really vibrant here. I'm probably overkilling it with the neon, but I want it to really stand out. I'm just getting everything mixed in really well. The fragrance oil that I'm going to split between each of the sections here is a bitter almond oil. So this is the only downside I would say to this soap, is that it is made with an almond oil, which there are some people who have allergies to almond oils. I really thought about changing the fragrance, but it works so well in this soap. And there are so many people who can actually use it. And I still had some left over that I need to get used up. So I decided to do this batch with it again. I might have enough left for one more batch, which I'll probably do one more time. And then I might switch to something else just so that other people who may have those allergies can have access to this guy as well. I really love this oil though. It smells like maraschino cherries to me. And maraschino cherries with a bright rainbow soap, it just, I don't know, it all works for me. So I've poured in really quickly there my first layer of purple. And I'm just wiping out my containers as I go so that they don't get super stuck in as they're waiting for me to get through each of the levels. I will say this did go fairly quickly. All in all, I think it took me about 45 minutes to make this soap, which is not too bad, I don't think, considering how many layers and waiting for each section to set and so on. So the next one I'm adding is a neon blue. These are like as I said, really vibrant colors. I might, been kicking around maybe doing another rainbow soap, more of a pastel-y one with the pastel kind of looking colors, but right now these ones are so fun. Like they really just jump off the shelves. You can't help but take a look at them. The smell is so strong and fragrant. It's a real winner, this one for sure. Like quite literally, the customers who just came in the store here this morning walked in and went, "Oh my God, it smells so good in here." I'm like, I know. It's just great. So just getting this blue guy all mixed up here as best as I can. And then basically what I'm going to do is try to layer each one on top. I try to make sure the other layer is set just enough that I can layer it on there. I do, as I'm setting these, have a little bit where I've moved a little too quickly and it hasn't set quite enough. But luckily, the finished bars still look amazing, so I don't have to stress about that too much. I think if I wanted to be a bit of a perfectionist on it, doing 6 completely separate batches of soap would be the right way to go to allow enough time for each one to set fully and not have any situations where it hasn't fully set on you. That's just not me. I'm not that patient. I like to get things done. So it doesn't tend to be anything that I don't foresee me working that way in the future. I like to just go for it. So maybe if I decide to make bigger batches, like if these guys fly off the shelves like I suspect they're going to on me, and I have to make another batch right away, it might be something where I decide to do individual layers, but do 12 loaves at a time or something like that. So still making fair-sized batches, but just having to make 2, 3, 4 different batches to get them all in there and set and so on. So as you can see, this blue is really just absolutely gorgeous. I could not be happier with the way this blue turned out. And of course, you can see I'm making a little bit of a mess already down the sides and the edges. I don't get too stressed about it. Yeah, I'm just cruising. Although I must say, considering how many layers I did and all the work that I put into this particular bar of soap, I was pretty clean. For me, I did a good job. I was very happy with myself, just even pouring this bucket into the other container. The fact that I didn't spill it everywhere, kudos for me. I think I nailed it. But I'm just giving the batter a quick stir here in between just to make sure it doesn't firm up while it's waiting for me to get to it. I do have a fairly fluid batch in general with my soap. My main recipe is quite fluid, which works out really well for the designs and things that I like to do. But I still have to keep a close eye on it because it still will firm up for sure. And how quickly it's going to choose to firm up, I don't know that there's any rhyme or reason to it, to be perfectly honest. It seems like one day it just flies and it's so hard so fast, and the next day I can't get it to harden for nothing. So just depends on how the universe decides to work that day. If you can't tell, this is my bright neon green. Again, vibrant green. I use this color quite a bit. It's in my Japanese mint bar. That one has my neon blue and my neon green in it. I don't even know which bars it's in. There's lots. Kind of tends to be my accent color in a lot of different bars. You'll kind of see it here and there. But I actually went to order some, and all I could get was a smaller container of it, and I thought it'd be fine, but I'm almost out again. So I'm gonna have to hope that now that Christmas is over, everybody's got some stuff in stock for me to buy. So when I did the purple layer there, it was set, but just barely. So that's why I've decided to mess around with the yellow here a little bit before I pour the green. And I figured I'd just test it out, kind of pre-mixing it in the bottle of the container. And then we'll see if I can still, if it mixes well enough for me or not, as opposed to on top of the soap batter. Look at this green. Like I couldn't, green is my favorite color. And I wouldn't say neon green is my favorite color, but it just looks so pretty. I have to get myself some new aprons. I have 2 aprons in the shop. This one, which I love. And I have one other apron that unfortunately, I actually bought it for gardening. And I asked the lady who made it for me to specifically make it a little bit looser, because when you're moving around in the garden, you just having stuff tight, you need to be able to bend over and kneel down and do all the things. So it's a little bit loose. And for soap making, I actually find I don't like looser fabrics, I guess, when I'm soap making. When I'm gardening, yes. When I'm soap making, I want it tight and out of the way. So I tend to wear this one all the time. So it tends to very quickly get covered in soap because, as we know, I am a messy soap maker. So usually the first batch of soap I make in the week, I am covered in soap. And then I can't be taking this thing home to wash it every single day when it's just soap on it. So it suffers, and once a week it gets to go home for a wash. So I need to get myself a couple more for in the shop, so that I don't always look so dirty when I'm making the soap. I'd also like to, I do have a Cricut machine, and I want to do my logo on it, or at least have it say Forever Board Soapery in some way. I think the Forever Board Soapery with a little goat would be super cute. I'd like to do a few up with that as well. So I'm kind of branding, I guess, my apron there. But I think it would be super cute. I have to get on that one day. And then, what are we working on now? Oh, this is the yellow we're putting in here now. So we already had the colorant in. We already had the fragrance oil. Or the essential oil, sorry. The bitter almond oil is an essential oil. Which is kind of cool. I can put it with my essential oil lineup, which is interesting. And then it does mix really well. Like, this mix is so good for me. I don't think it mattered whether I put the colorant and fragrance on top or bottom. It blended up just fine either way, which was great. Looking so good. Anyways, I'm loving the yellow as well. All the neon colors are just perfect. Everything's stick blending well. It's pouring well. I am, as I mentioned, just as I'm going through the layers, noticing I really could have let it sit a minute longer, but the whole time I'm just terrified that my soap is gonna set up in my pail there. I'm just so scared that this is gonna happen to me. The end result is I had the time. By the time I finish everything here, I definitely had the time. The soap was easy to work with all the way through each of the colors. By the time I get to my final color, the white TD mixture, that one actually had to sit for quite a while because I was using it for icing the top. And it had to sit for so long that again, I had so much time. I didn't need to be stressing or rushing or anything like that. So this guy here, I'm just prepping it here. It's just the TD, the titanium dioxide, and I'm mixing it in with the fragrance oil. I'm going to keep saying fragrance oil, guys, but it is an essential oil. It's the bitter almond oil. I'm just mixing those two together so that the TD gets well dissolved while I work on the yellow. I'm pretty sure it was my yellow and green that I really noticed it started to kind of push the green a little bit, because again, I was rushing between those layers, and I really should have given it just a little bit more time. One of the things I start to notice about now is that my colors here are not perfectly even between the loaves. I'm getting really close to the top of the loaf on that first one that I did with the yellow, and I still have some room on this one and the next one to get in my final color. So I couldn't figure it out fully, because I do 1,500 grams usually for each loaf. Yeah, I'm just not sure what happened with my measurements to make it so that they were filling up so much, I guess is my point. It was fine. It's not like everybody was full, so that was good. But I actually had extra leftover soap, which was so weird. Obviously my math was wrong or something there. I'm not sure what I was thinking, but it all worked out, I guess. But if you can see over on this side there how the one loaf looks completely full and the other two have some room in them still, I don't know what that's about. But our final color is neon pink. So we did neon yellow, neon blue, green, purple, and now we're gonna do pink. I did think about doing more colors and really going wild with really nice thin layers of lots of rainbow colors. I decided that wasn't for me today, and I'm glad I did. I think this was the perfect amount of colors and the perfect array of colors. I don't know that I really needed more. And in fact, I think with thinner lines, it may not kind of stand out and be as drastic as it is with the thicker layers that this ends up being. So overall, very, very, very happy with it. And the pink, of course, is gorgeous as well. This pink I've used not very often. I'm not sure why, but I actually haven't used it a ton. I think I used it on my cashmere comfort bars that I made a while back, but I can't remember using it for anything else. Might have to find a way to incorporate it a bit here, because I definitely have a lot of it. In fact, I don't even think it's called neon pink. I can't remember the full name of this one, like a magenta or something like that. So I'm just scraping out my container here, getting everything into the titanium dioxide and fragrance oil container. That'll be my final layer. And just wiping everything out really quickly. That pail there is the bane to my existence. So as a soap maker, and even in my past videos, I've said, make sure you wear long sleeves. You'll notice today, nope, didn't do it. Don't know what happened here, but I bought this shirt thinking it was a long sleeve and it wasn't, and didn't even occur to me that I was making soap today when I got dressed. So a little bit of a short sleeve, but when you go in to wipe out that pail, that's where I usually, when we talk about lye burns or irritations and stuff like that from soap making, that's usually where I'll get it on my skin, is trying to clean out the container, and I'll get a little bit on my wrists. And I did today. I actually had to go and wash my wrists off because I had gotten a little bit on there. So luckily, I usually notice it right away and I'm able to wash it off fairly quickly, and I don't get anything more than that little bit of an irritation. But everybody's skin is different, and you could have a severe reaction to it for sure. So here I'm just trying to get enough pink in to cover the top and make sure that I get that final layer, but also not so much that it's all falling out the sides, because they are definitely pretty full already, these containers. So, and I have so much batter left at this point. This is where I start going, what is happening? Why in my mind, I should have been using up all of this batter in the loaves, but clearly somewhere in my calculations I had it wrong, but it's fine. I just made some cute little soap bars. You see me running off to find a mold here to put them in. I'm like, what am I going to do with these? So I've got this super cute little heart mold, and I had a cousin who was just asking me if I had made any heart soaps this year, and I had told her no, I didn't make any, because unfortunately what I have found is holiday specific soaps don't seem to really sell for me. If it can be like, I don't know, it could be pink or red or whatever, but as soon as I start adding hearts or whatever into it, it just seems to sit there. People don't seem to really buy it. It's the strangest thing. So in her case, because she had asked about heart soaps, I thought I would do the little mini heart molds. For her, they might be ready by Valentine's Day. They might not be, but they'll be pretty well set though by Valentine's Day. So we'll see where they're at, if she can get them in time for then. And then, of course, I had so much more batter left over that I decided to make some little mini soap bars, which works out well. I usually will put these guys just in my discount bin, or I'll hand them out as gifts, or if somebody's looking for a donation, that's usually where I'll use these extras at, is as a kind of a way to support the community or nonprofits who are trying to do fundraising or just need a door prize or anything like that. It's definitely one of the things I get hit up a lot for, and I really want to give whenever I can. So these make perfect little gifts or prizes for those organizations to have. So I mixed up my TD fragrance oil and soap batter to make this piping, I guess, icing for the top of my soaps. I definitely could have let this sit a lot longer. So in between takes here, that was probably a solid hour that I was sitting for, waiting for this to harden up, and it's still a little bit loosey-goosey. I definitely think I could have let it sit for a good half hour longer. But again, me and my impatience, no way was I waiting any longer. We were doing this and getting it done. So I'm doing the icing here. I don't know. My icing, I never think it comes out the way I want it to. Or at least when I'm doing it, I don't think it does that great. But the final result or the final product always looks really good. So I don't do it a ton because I hate fiddling with the piping bag and all that good stuff. But I do it for this soap, and there's one or two others that I like to do piping on as well. Only because the final product looks so good with the piping on it. I'm so happy with it all the time that I continue to do it. I wish I could do it like Katie Carson does. The way that she is able to control her piping and the way that it looks makes me so happy. What are we doing? Oh, so right now we've got I've got some biodegradable sprinkles that I just put on. So I did the holographic one, kind of like silver sparkly, all the good stuff. I did that one first, and once I put on a couple layers just because I wanted to make sure the sparkles were kind of spread throughout the bar. And then I'm just getting on my final layer here. And I'm pretty happy with it. So I'm just gonna add another layer of the holographic sparkles. And then I did decide to go ahead and add some of the white blue sparkles as well. It's got like a little blue iridescent color kind of thing going on. I really wanted this one to really pop, to really be that super fun soap. So then for this particular bar, I am also decided I would try to add some unicorn horns, make these into super, super fun ones. This unicorn mold I bought, I think just off Amazon, but it was like one of those hard candy molds, like for chocolate and stuff. Unfortunately, I've never had good luck with those ones. I broke it, so we're only doing the one loaf here in the unicorn horns because I broke the mold. I really am a silicone mold girl. The harder ones have not worked out for me ever. But they look, it's gonna be cute. The little gumballs there, I figured I would add them maybe to look like little ears on the side. I thought that would be cute. So I'm adding those in. And of course, off I go and realize that I have to get a whole lot more horns in there. So I have to reposition everybody to make sure that I can get everybody in. This is where I have one of those. I would do it differently. I really, really, really have to start marking my molds to show where my cut lines are going to be with my soap cutter. I am forever cutting off the little balls or the horns or any embeds that I put on here. Sometimes I luck out, which is why I think I keep winging it. But I definitely, for this soap, should have marked it out so that I had everything positioned perfectly for the cut. So I ran out of little purple balls, and so I went with some neon pink ones that I had. And then I have one little, it was supposed to be a neon yellow, but it came out to be more like a mustardy type color. So I still used it. I needed one more horn, so I popped it in there. I think it will be okay once we get to the cut, but just in case, my grandsons will love it if nobody else does. I guarantee you, anything I make, they love. In fact, rainbow soap, their favorite. And then I had a ton left over of the soap batter for the TD. So I just finished off the last of these molds here with that. And I don't know if you can see, while I was waiting for this to harden up, I also just played around with some embeds. I had some little kitty cat embeds that I did and whatnot. So just to make those soaps a little more fun. So this is me steaming my soaps. It doesn't happen all the time. I do water discount my soaps now, but unfortunately every now and then I still get some that will get soda ash, and this one was one of them. So I find if I steam the top of the soap, it gets rid of that soda ash for me, and they come out nice and bright and shiny. You can see the difference between the one I haven't done yet and the new one. Very big difference. And they do tend to stay nice and shiny and glossy like that, which is awesome. It's a step I would rather not do, but I definitely will do it if it makes sense. Some of my soaps, I just leave the soda ash. I think that little antique-y type look to it, that old-fashioned style, looks really cool. So some I leave it. Like I did a rose soap for Two Bees, Flowers, and Bistro in Warburg. And I left it on top because it had just this, the whole soap in general almost looked like that dusty rose, just a really cool old-fashioned-y type look to it. So that one got to keep it, but it just depends on the soap whether or not I feel like it needs to be adjusted or not. And this is my final bars. I am going to go ahead and cut here for you guys today. Let me know what you think. a lot of the videos I watch have the whole spiel, including the cut. And I personally tend to like to watch them all the way through. But I felt like this video got really, really long. So if you guys feel the same way and it was too long, let me know. There's definitely some areas where I could do some cutting of the video, I think. Just got to learn how. And I could shorten things up a bit for you. But let's have a look-see. This is lesson learned. I've watched it 1,000 times on YouTube. Other soap makers have this exact same thing happen, and yet I still did it. I can't believe it. Basically, when you get to a soap with unicorn horns on the top, and it's so tall, I went to bring my cutter down onto it here, and it doesn't work. My unicorn horns are way, way, way too tall. So watch me here give it a shot, and I get everybody all lined up perfectly. I'm so excited about it. It's gonna cut. I'm gonna miss all of the horns. Everything's gonna work out wonderfully. And then when I go to do it, it gets stuck on the top. And that's when I clue in that it's not going to work that way. I am going to have to turn it on its side and try again. So this is where I tend to learn that I can miss all of the horns, and I can line it up perfectly to miss all the horns. However, I don't have the balls positioned as well as I do the horns, and I end up hitting some of the balls. So great. I'm a little excited here. Like, please work out, please work out. And I think it is working out, so I'm really excited about it. So this is one of my end pieces. It will be a sample bar, just because it's a little bit smaller. Might even be a grandson gift for that guy. Ooh, she won't stand up on her own. She's too thin. Convince her. There we go. All right, and this will be our first bar. So I think it came out perfect. You can see where the little balls cut off just a little bit, but I think it actually looks cute. It adds some, I don't know, it's just, I don't know, the little balls came through. I love the way that that looks, the little bit extra in there. I think it looks so great. And then the layers themselves look so good. Like, I'm so happy with the way that that turned out. I couldn't have asked for more. The smell, you guys, the smell is, it's got to be my favorite. This maraschino cherry is just to die for. And again, I call it maraschino cherry because that's what it smells like to me. I don't know about this bitter almond. I've never smelt a bitter almond, I guess, but to me this smells like a maraschino cherry, and I think it's amazing. And I think they look so cute. Like a little unicorn horn and the little ears, and I don't know. I think it's amazing. Do you see this guy? The horn broke off. I don't know what I'm going to do there. I'm just sticking it back on like, don't know what to do about you. Make you work. So awesome. So you guys have to tell me what you think of my rainbow soap. If you want a bar of this soap, I do think it's going to sell it quickly. Reach out. We can do a pre-order maybe for you so that you can get a bar of this guy. And then that way it'll give me a good idea too if I need to hurry up and make another batch right away if everybody's looking for it. I think it will make a great Easter soap. I think people would love something like that for Easter. And there's another sample piece. I love it. I love it so much. I hope you guys enjoyed this video of me making my rainbow unicorn soap. And I really hope that you come back and watch other videos with me, that you like and subscribe to my page to watch other videos. I'm really enjoying doing these videos for everyone, and more so for me. I think it's going to be a great way for me to keep a log of what I've been working on, and kind of, you know, being able to come back. I can come back now and watch this video and maybe fix some things that I would like to do differently, or remind myself of what I did do so I can do it the same way. I don't know. I think it's great. I'm really happy with it, and I hope that it continues to work out this way. And I hope everybody enjoys the videos that I'm making. So these are the 2 loaves that I did without the unicorns or anything on it. I wanted something that, you know, it's so great. I wanted something that, I don't know, if you just weren't into unicorns, you could still have the awesome rainbow soap. So I definitely did some bars up just with the rainbow pattern, but they are so amazing. I just love them. So now it's just a matter of deciding what I want to do next. I think I need to do up an amber and oak moss bar. That one was selling out like hotcakes last year too. I definitely think I'm stuck on wanting to do something different with that one. I did it kind of in a creamy color, white color, with like a gold mica and a bronze kind of swirled within it. It was kind of cool. And I think it suited the fragrance really well. So I might go that way again. I just haven't quite decided. I'm feeling I want some more bright colors lately, and I don't know if amber and oak moss really makes sense for that, but just feeling the spring, I guess. It's only January, I know, but feeling the spring. So I got to start really thinking about what I want to do next. If you have any ideas or recommendations, definitely let me know. Maybe it'll fit into what I'm working with or something I'm doing. But I'm just, yeah, these are amazing. I couldn't be happier with how this turned out. Have a great night, guys.